Hello, everyone. So, I'm doing a little bit of an intro today. That is not me facing the camera because I honestly don't feel very well and I don't want anyone to have to see that. So, here's my little Christmas tree that I set up recently. We have a larger one as well, but this video is full of Christmas DIY gifts and I am so excited to share them with you guys. So, if you want to DIY some Christmas gifts, some inexpensive, some are a little bit more expensive, but honestly, all of them, after you come together with how much product you can make, are so budget friendly. So, let's get started. First off, we are using some rice, some eucalyptus leaves, some lavender, and then some essential oils. I am taking this Dollar Tree scarf, and this was just a piece I had left over from another project. And I'm making it about 10 inches long and about 5 inches wide. I'm making two of these sizes, putting them back to back, and then I'm going to be hot gluing these together. So these don't really have like a bad side to them, whereas some fabric definitely has like a side that needs to go on the inside. So if you are doing it that way, you want to put the two good sides together and then glue the other way. So this is a fabric hot glue that I am using and it works so well. You're definitely going to want something that's for fabric, because if someone wants to wipe this down, or this obviously is going to be put in the microwave, so you don't want anything that's going to like really melt very easily. And this will not do that. So, and these shouldn't be in the microwave very long anyway, like a minute, maybe 90 seconds at the very most. So, I got a 2 pound bag of rice from Walmart and I used about a pound for each of these bags. I'm going to do two today. And so this one I am putting some eucalyptus leaves in, as well as some eucalyptus essential oils, which I actually got at the Dollar Tree. So the bag of rice was like $1.70. So I'm making two of them. And like I said, this fabric is stuff I had, but if you had to get some at the Dollar Tree for $1, like you could make two of these pretty much for like $1 a piece, maybe $2 a piece, which is a great deal versus what you would have to pay for one of these online or in a specialty store. So just keep that in mind. And then after you fill everything, I rolled my edges over to make them look a little bit cleaner and nicer. And I really like the way that that turned out. So there's the first one. This next one, I did a purple fabric, and I'm doing lavender. So I put some lavender pieces in there. I mixed it all up and then put some lavender essential oils in there as well. Um, Enough to make it smell nice. You know, you want to be able to smell it on the outside. So whatever that means to you. And basically, same thing. I'm going to fold those edges over and use the fabric hot glue to glue them down. And I'm just going to put a bow around these. And I'll put some instructions that they can either put this in the freezer or heat it up in the microwave, whatever they feel like doing. So I personally like them cold most of the time, unless it's like a really, really achy kind of muscle, then I'll heat it up. But I absolutely love these things, and I have like a large one that I use around my neck, and I just think that anyone can use these. They're such a great gift, especially nowadays. Everyone's so stressed. These are perfect to lay across the forehead, the back of the neck, any body part. And now we're making some candles. So, first off, I'm using some old candle jars. I put these in the freezer, and I only did this for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And it worked really well to get that old wax out. I mean, that one, I didn't even have to do anything. It pretty much just like popped out. So, I was really happy about that. Most of them you kind of have to like break up a little bit and then kind of peel the old wax metal tins out. But I mean, these were just fine. So, And then that's it. That's how you want to get your old wax out. And then next up, I am doing kind of that double broil method. So these are some wax chips that I had that I'm using for some of my candles, but I also have some Dollar Tree candles that I'm going to be using. And so I picked up some wicks from Hobby Lobby. Honestly, they were pretty inexpensive with the coupon. I think they were like $1.50 to $2. I just put a little bit of hot glue and then glue them down before I put the wax in. So, and you can make any size. So I'm making some small ones to give out to like coworkers and stuff like that. And then I'll be making some larger ones as well. So, the I really like these wooden wicks. They have that like crackle, kind of like a fire is going. So I really like that. I of course like the traditional wicks as well. But here you go. You can see the Dollar Tree candles I have going. So it's better if you have water that goes all the way to the top of where the candle's at so that it melts evenly, like these first two I have here. But I got those back ones started and then moved them to that front pot. And that's it. For the candles, you just pour them in, and so easy and simple. Next up, I've got this soap. So you can buy soap if with a coupon, get it 40 to 50% off. You can get it for $4 or $6. So I decided to get 2 packs. I'm getting this glycerin, which is that more clear soap, and then the shea butter, which is this more white soap. And so I basically just use that tool to kind of break them down a little bit. And then I just stuck them in the microwave. It says to do it kind of at 30-second intervals. So I went ahead and I did a minute and then did a little bit more time after that. So I got some soap coloring. And again, I think that was around $3, not super expensive. And I did blue and red to make a light purple. And then I put some of those lavender buds that I had into the soap mold, which one again was like $3. They were having a like 30 or 40% off sale, so I think it ended up being like two something. This mold I actually got from the Dollar Tree. And so I put some red food coloring in the glycerin soap. It didn't put enough. I was hoping when it dried it would look a little more red, but they turned out more pink, which is totally fine. So I used that mold from the Dollar Tree. I let these sit for about 45 minutes to an hour, and they pretty much popped right out. I was really impressed. I did put a little bit of olive oil on both of the molds just to make it a little bit easier. And then we're going to make some resin coasters. So I know you guys have probably seen this, but basically it's a two-part process. So you mix equal parts together for about 2 minutes to make sure that it's really well mixed together. And I ended up making more than anticipated. So I made a few extra pieces that I wasn't planning on, which is totally fine because they're definitely going to get used. So I would definitely start out with less and then add more if you need to. So, because I filled the cups like almost half full, like maybe 2/3 full, and that was way too much for my 3 coasters. So, I got these kind of geode shaped coasters, which I really like. I put just some free, or not some free, but some glitter kind of powder. And again, I ended up putting way too much of this in there. I do like the way it turned out though. So if you're going for more of just a hint of glitter, you're definitely going to want to just add a little bit at a time. So, and you can always add more. So you can see here I filled my 3 coasters and still had quite a bit left. So I decided to get my other coaster molds out and go ahead and fill those up as well. And so the last one I had like a barely enough, but it ended up turning out great. So I was able to kind of scrape enough of it all together there. And they all turned out amazing. I was so happy with these. I was going to put some eucalyptus and like some purple flowers in these and decided not to do that. So you can see I do have them sitting there on the side, which is always an option. But I ended up using some food coloring, just regular food coloring. And I did a blue, and then I did add a pink into a couple of them as well, just to give it a little bit of a different look. But um, this made such a rich color, and it almost made it look kind of like a galaxy, a little bit. And I absolutely love the way these turned out. So these do have to cure for 24 hours. And honestly, I think I left mine for 2 days, and one of them, because the way it was sitting, still had like a couple little spots that were like kind of tacky. So you'll definitely want them on a flat surface. Make sure that they're, all good to go, and they turned out so cute. Like, I absolutely love those. Next up, we are doing some warm vanilla lip scrub. So I'm using this coconut oil that I actually got from the Dollar Tree, and this jar was more than enough. So I used, I think, about 7 tablespoons, and then I added some brown sugar, so 2 tablespoons of that, and 3 tablespoons of regular sugar, and then I added some vanilla extract, and that's it, you guys. Like, so simple, so easy. And I just mixed that all together really well, and I got 4 of those glass containers from the Dollar Tree. I just scooped everything in there, and these turned out so cute. I ended up just printing on my regular printer a label that says warm vanilla lip scrub, and I looked up some recipes online, and it's pretty basic, so nothing crazy. You can add some different things if you want to, or add different flavors, do whatever you want. But this is what I thought was going to be nice. So you can see I used a popsicle stick to kind of help get things down in these little tubes. And I just love the way that these turned out. I had a little extra I put in that one dish. And honestly, I'll probably end up using that. So again, I cut these little tiny labels out from what I just printed on my printer, regular printer ink, and all of that. You could absolutely use like a Cricut, or you could do a handwritten tag, which is, of course, always nice with handmade things, to do like a nice handwritten tag, which is so cute as well. So I really like the way these turned out, and I ended up using glue to put them on the glass containers. I think I put a little bit of hot glue on a couple of them to make sure that the um, edges were going to stick down and all of that. So, um, yeah, so, oh, I used Mod Podge. Yeah, so I tried using Mod Podge, and then I ended up using a little bit of hot glue to stick the edges down on a couple of them. And then I just used some red twine to wrap around the lid. And I am so happy with how these turned out. I have 4 coworkers, and so that's kind of what I had in mind for these. But we'll see. You never know what happens. So if they watch this video, no peeking. And um, yeah, I think these, like, honestly, they were so easy, so inexpensive, and probably one of my more favorite items that I did for this. So, another easy thing, some Epsom salt, some pink Himalayan salt from the Dollar Tree. You get this 1 pound bag. I got the fine grain. And then I just layered that. I crushed up some rose petals that I had from a bouquet of flowers. You can absolutely buy rose petals as well, already dried out. So I just kept layering those until it was full to the top, and then added my lid, put a little twine on there. The other thing you can do is I have this mineral soak from the Dollar Tree. So you get that packet for $1. It smells so good. This little trick heating up the price tag to get, or the tag to get that off of there. So this soak already had some eucalyptus in it, but I wanted to add a little bit more just to make sure that it was a really nice smell because it was a little bit light. So I end up putting I was going to put some greenery in here, and then I remembered I had some sage. So there was sage in this mix already, so it worked out perfectly. I layered the sage and the soak and just kind of went back and forth with that. And in these little tubes, it's so cute. This would be perfect for like a foot soak or hand soak. You could definitely use it in a bath, but it may be a little bit light of a scent and all of that in a full bath. So, but you could absolutely do that. And then I end up taking the tag because I actually really liked the packaging it came in. So I took the packaging, I cut that down, and I reattached it to my bottle. So this is always something you can do if you're kind of repurposing things, and it will make it look so nice. So I was just deciding placement there. This tag had kind of like a silver backing to it, and so it wasn't taking the Mod Podge very well. So I did end up hot gluing the edges on this as well. I tried with the Mod Podge so hard, you can see me like painting it on there, but just the hot glue ended up just having to happen, and it looked totally fine. You couldn't see it at all, and it made it look so much better. So and then I added a little piece of greenery on here with some twine to finish it up. And you'll see that in the final oh no, I show it here too. So you can see, and this is just a little fake piece of lavender that I'm putting on here just to kind of add to it a little bit. The next one I'm making is going to be a lavender soak. So I've got the lavender Epsom salt, and then of course these lavender buds that I've been loving. So you can see that bag. It seems like it's small, but I have gotten so much use out of it with these DIYs. I mean, the eye mask, I even put it in one of the candles. I did the soap. We're doing the soak. So if you buy some of these lavender buds, and I got these at Hobby Lobby again for like a couple dollars, and they had rose petals and eucalyptus and peppermint leaves and all of that. And so a little goes a long way with those. And I, like I said, got so much use, and I still have a lot left. And so this again is a smaller, and I do add some more eucalyptus essential oil. This is a smaller soak or a smaller bath salt, but I think this you could still use in a bath, or like I said, more concentrated if you were just doing like a foot soak or even like a hand soak or something like that. So I decorated the lid with a little bit of ribbon and twine. This next step is a little more personalized, but I wanted to show it as just kind of an idea. So these eucalyptus stems are actually from my sister-in-law's wedding. And I went through and I pulled a bunch of them, of course, because I wanted to use them, dry them out, do different DIYs with them. But I also wanted to make some crafts for her to remind her of her wedding day. So dried out flowers and that sort of thing sometimes don't stay very well, or you have to do something with them right away. These have been sitting in my vase for like a year and a half, a year and a half, drying out and being almost like a pretty decoration. And I've made one decoration with eucalyptus leaves for her already, but this is another idea that I have. So I'm actually going through and I'm laying the leaves down because we're going to put it in this double pane frame. So I actually had this double pane frame on hand, but you can get one at Walmart, I think, for like $5 if this is something that you really want to do. So I'm kind of laying things out here, deciding what I want to do, how I want to lay them out. And essentially, those two smaller ones have more of a curve to them, and I really wanted that last one to have a curve, and I was trying to figure out how I could do it. And what I ended up doing was just pulling a different eucalyptus stem that had more of a curve to it, because I was like, well, maybe I can make it curve and squish it between the glass and it will stay, or maybe I'll have to glue it down. And I just tried so hard to make it work, and You can see it's just not working. It's not bending. It's not staying how I want it to, as much as I was trying. So I ended up pulling that one out and doing a different one that had more of a bend to it. And that ended up fitting better in the glass anyway. Because with the double pane, you really want things to be laying down flat because otherwise the backing's not going to hold on very well. So, of course, make sure your glass is nice and clean so you don't have fingerprint smudges on the inside. Still trying to make that last stem work. Like, I just did not want to give up on that. But I did take a lot of work, like, laying all the leaves down flat and making sure they stayed together and all of that. So that's why I wanted it to work because I spent time on it. But oh, c'est la vie. I should have just, kept it. Next thing, so easy. I printed out Aquarius and the Aquarius constellation on my Cricut, and I'm adding them onto this black piece of cardstock I had, so it is thicker than just regular black paper. It does have more weight to it, and I'm putting that on, and then I'm just framing it in an 8 by 10 frame. And I have a friend who absolutely loves astrology. I will be gifting this to her. I think it's just nice and simple. It's not too busy, it's not too crazy. I'm going to be pairing this with a candle that I got from the Dollar Tree that is Aquarius as well. And then here I wanted to show you the coasters all done, how easy it was to get these out. Again, I did spray just a tiny bit of olive oil on the molds just to make sure they came out nice and easy. Or no, wait, I'm sorry, I did not spray these. I sprayed the soap. So my bad. Don't spray those with mold. And here's our final touches. So here's a soap, and then the peppermint soap, and the warm vanilla lip scrub, and it's in this nice little Chinese box. And I got these actually on clearance last year from Michael's, and you get I believe 4 or 5 boxes, and I think I got them for like under $1 or just over $1. Next up is another way to pair these things. So I added a couple extra things, but you can see one of the little candles in there, the soaps, the rice bag, and I love this setup for a gift basket. Here's another one that has a candle, one of the little lotions from the Dollar Tree, and again, both of the soaps and the lip scrub. And all of these, besides that first Chinese box, are Dollar Tree containers. So this one has more of that lavender base. So I put the lavender Epsom salt and eye bag and the soap, of course. Those Dr. Teals I did get at Walmart. I think they were like $3.50. One of the larger candles that I made, and then, of course, the coasters, I have those just tied with a nice little ribbon. I'll probably end up just putting them in a bag, so I didn't want to put those out. Let me know which one of these was your favorite. Thanks so much for watching, and happy crafting.